We've had 14 rounds of NASCAR trucks. Every Tuesday night, it comes down to the last 2 rounds, Superspeedways. It's time to bring home the money, bring home the bacon. Hello, my name's Peter Gretton. Welcome to round 15 of the Skypoynt NASCAR Trucks E-Series. And well, if you haven't guessed, we're here at Talledega. Superspeedway pack racing at its best. To make mention to all the drivers, shout out to each and every one of yous. We had a record we were talking about off air with the league organisers and a few boys, and 8 minutes I think last round, 43 drivers locked out this field. Unfortunate to the guys that didn't make it in this week. 4 minutes, 43 drivers, Talledega trucks. How good is it? Season 2, it's still heating up. It is heating right up at the top. Dave Douglas, will try and get a word with him throughout the night. Everything to lose for him here tonight. Remember, $1,000 thanks to Skypoynt, the naming rights sponsor, has put up for this Royal Triple Crown, they call it. Daytona leg. We visited Daytona twice. That will be the grand finale next week. Michael Skurlock leads that one. Andy Barber, Tom Pritchard. Talledega, you've got to win each of these. Dave Douglas, 220 points. 15 clear of Reese May. Darren McKenzie still in the hunt, 202. And for the series, which you also have to take out to get the $1,000, we also thought on that note that it was almost impossible. That's why the cash figure is so high. Well, Dave Douglas, it's all tonight. Series can be wrapped up tonight. The Royal Triple Crown will go down to the wire. Dave Douglas leads that. Andy Barber's in the hunt. 120 points for first, up for grabs here at Talledega. 110 for second, and 105 for third. So, well, these guys, especially the top 5 in each and every one of these championships, they really want to have a good night, show and bring it down to the wire and show everyone just what they're made of. Practice is concluding at the minute. 27 minutes out of 30, 1.5 minutes to go. I make mention to Jai as well, having a minor medical procedure, so riding solo here tonight in the booth. We'll be back next week for sure, guns blazing. Jai will be driving in one of these as well, so tune in for season 3. And just make mention of season 3, it's open. It's I'm not too sure if this code works, but the season 3, that QR code, if that works, bottom right of screen, well, that'll take you straight to the Skypoynt Racing website. $25 per person to get in. That sounds high, but you get prizes every week, prizes for winning, random prize as well for Lucky Dog. Then of course you've still got the Royal Triple Crown as well. That's live again on the LR Esports Network for next season, but if you want to become part of it, definitely jump on the website. I'm pretty sure I've got it in the description there. If not, skypointracing.com. How good's Talledega? How good is it? Tom Pritchard, qualifying mastermind here at Super Speedways, and he's done it again, especially Talledega, 51.04 on the times. Andy Barber and Aidan Schulz. Aidan Schulz got the number 1 on the car. Unfortunately, it's probably a little bit too late. I think that's out of reach for him now. Trent Gosley with a late move throughout the back end of this series. He's doing well. He's sitting 4th in the practice session. Remember, these times would have had drafts. They've grabbed a mate. Probably a race simulation more than anything. Qualifying, lone qualifying, it's all on you. You'll probably see about a 54-second lap time, 53 if we're lucky. I was talking to Dave Douglas as well before we went live, and he has to finish 15th or higher tonight, and he wraps up the series. And of course, that's on the official results. As looks like we've got it, maybe an afternoon race. Let's throw that up, because I'm not too sure if that's my graphics having a little bit of a whirl, or in fact it may be a dusk race. So 6:14. So that's a morning race, so it's not my graphics, it's just the sun rising. 6:15. Oh, here's the Roffies get into each other. Practice session goes checkers. Track temps 25 degrees, cool again. Now let's have a look. We're getting into qualifying right now, but before we do, the championship standings just needs a little bit of a boot actually. So we'll get the championship standings up. We went through the top 5 in the lead up, and this Nate takes 1 or 2 kicks to get it working. Dave Douglas, BMX Bandits, we've already touched on 1394. Skypoynt Racing, we've got Trent Gosley, a couple of drivers. Skurlock has been absent the last couple of rounds. He's still sitting there up in 5th position. Favourite drivers. A few big names down that list as well that we probably would expect to see high. Chris Tomlin from Luke Crum Racing / Inside Lane Productions, sitting down there in 17th position. He's found a formula that works as of late as Chop, and let's see him and the boys get in here. We've got Luke Kenny's in here, Luke Crum I think is in here as well, so look for these teams to grab their mates and be there at the end. 80 laps here tonight. 27 to 30 laps. I know that's a little bit of a big gap, but 27 to 30 laps I do envision to be one set of fuel. Remember, tyres doesn't count. Probably 53 litres. Remember, there's a fuel cap of 75%, so that brings it down. No times as of yet that have come in here for qualifying. And just while we wait for these times and we ride on board the driver here, and we mentioned how quickly we filled out this field here tonight. 4 minutes, in fact, 15 minutes, or 8 minutes rather, last week. And I think 15 minutes the week before. But over the past 14 rounds, we've had 80 contenders, 80 drivers that have got on the championship standings with an average of 40.7. We worked out average field following, so it's a bit of stats for the drivers, and definitely keep showing up, boys. You make it a fun-filled Tuesday night as the qualifying times now come in. Greg Spencer with the time 55.52, 55.62. Watch these second laps probably come down here at Talledega. Probably doesn't really matter as much to have your second lap, but you might as well have 2 stabs at it. And surprise, surprise, Tom Pritchard, number 6 Skypoynt entry, just bangs down to 55.43 if you would. See what Spencer Rob Schulz can do. He's done a 55.62. We've got Andy Barber. Remember, he's in the championship hunt, 55.7. He's put down. Douglas, he should be sitting somewhere there in the standings. He may be doing a rearer field to start of the field, and I tell you, that's probably not a bad idea here at any super speedway. Adam Malone just jumps up with a 55.66, and there's Mackenzie 55.67, and Hoppet, he matches his time with a 55.67 rather. Pritchard's time 55.43. I'm not too sure if that's going to be beaten rather. Tom will tell. Pritchard, Spencer, Rob. There's a couple of patterns in here as well. So I should really put a initial there, which I can't on the tower. My apologies. Nigel Patton is up there, and not too sure if Matt's in here tonight, but if he is, we will have 2 patterns. This is Greg Clean, just finishing up on his lap. Currently a little bit down from where he would want. Back up to Sean Rigby. He's a little bit further down as well in 26th. Could be a ploy as well, remember. So some of these guys like to just take the piss a little bit in qualifying. Just set a time just because. And I suppose seat time is key. And these 2 laps in qualifying, even if you half-arse it to start at the back, well, you're probably 2 laps better off knowing this track and getting your eye in, so to speak, at the start of a race, especially these lead guys that are leading this championship. 110 car Fenson just fences it, funny enough, on purpose, obviously. Look at that. Qualifying is done and dusted. Round 15, Skypoynt NASCAR Trucks E-Series. This one and one more. 1.5 miles, short track, step aside. Superspeedway time. Last 2 rounds of this series is going to be at a Superspeedway. Tom Pritchard, Superspeedway King, 55.439. He will start alongside Greg Spencer, front row of the field. Rob Patton, Aidan Schulz in 5th. Daniel Stevens in 6th. Adam Malone, Kate Donnelly, Troy Davison and Mackenzie will have your first 5 rows, and all bag a top 5 qualifying position. Great job. Kobe Jordan, he'll start on the 6th row of the grid with Steve Hoppert alongside him. Andy Barber, remember, watch the Skypoynt Racing number 5 move up the field here tonight. He's got, he wants to win this. He wants to win the 1,000. He wants to try and have a good crack at it. He'll start alongside Christopher Finlay. Maxi Marshall and Bruns will have the 8th row of this massive field. Wellman, Fenson, Maxfield, Roffey. Many Roffies in here tonight. There's Tony in 20th, Craig in 21st, Kim Roffey in 22nd, Denny Vassell and Nigel Seidel. That's your 12 rows of the grid. As we go over, that's probably half the field. Mortensen, Troy Mortensen, Platinum Racing will start alongside teammate Sean Rigby, Luke Kenny and Trent Gosley. They'll have the 14 or first 14 rows. Nicholas Walsh and Chris Tomlin, that's your 30. Klein, McElvoy, welcome back, mate. Backed it up. How good's that? He'll start in 32nd position. Tristan Koch and Dwayne Priest has come back as well. 4 tenths off the pace in qualifying. Will start in 34th position. Reese May and Colin Finland, all the way from Carolina in the US. So glad to have an American in here as well. Derek Jacobs, as he usually is a shower, not here tonight. Tristan Koch, and we've run through them, Pete. Kai Turner and Blackburn will have the 38th position. Look at these field of trucks just take off. Peter Jones, Dave Douglas down there in 40th position. He'll be taking the smart approach here tonight. Lots to lose. Finishes top 15. He can wrap this championship up. Watch for Dave Douglas to move through. Watch for Wade Sheedy as well, and Nicholas Demores to move through the field. And to round out our 43 and max field here, round 15 of the Skypoynt NASCAR Truck Series. Great to have everyone joined in across both platforms of the Skypoynt Racing and also across the LRE Sports Network. Once again, gives a shout out as the night goes on. How's the audio? Can we make a change along the way? Pace Truck leads them around. What a track. Talledega. Keep your foot down, and well, the big one we were talking before we went on air, 54 from our championship leader. He sort of has a rough guess at that. Who's going to have the luck? Who's going to have the race strategy? Remember, tyres, don't worry about them. You can go change one set if you want. You don't need them. 80 laps around here, well, you can do it on one set. It's all about the fuel. Every time we go caution, same thing. We're no stranger here to super speedways. You duck in, you top it up, you clutch, you get it back underway. Green run, green pit stop. Can we see 80 laps of green racing? We went a long time yesterday. I was going to quote, last week rather, I was going to quote a number, but well, just failed me right when I needed it. Some 56, 57 laps, if not more than that. Pace Truck peels off. Geico restart zone is in play. Only a new feature here on iRacing. Tom Pritchard, where will he go? Start, finish, or end? Round 15, the Skypoynt NASCAR Trucks E-Series. We're coming up to the Geico restart zone. It's up to Tom. He waits to the end. He's gone. We're live. 3 wide almost. Remember, you can't change positions till the end. Nice start from the boys. Lap 1 of 80. Super Speedway action. Enjoy this. These guys, they know how to race. 2 wide all the way down back. Tom Pritchard with a good start, and no one wants to move. 3 wide a little bit. One of the Roffies. Don't want to take it 3 wide too early. Roar of the NASCAR trucks past the wall. We got a couple of cars, a couple of Roffies into the wall a little bit further back. I did see the 030 of Craig Roffey. He's moving back, probably in the intention to move back, I would say so. They've clipped the wall in doing that. So remember, these trucks, they're pretty fragile when you get up into the wall, especially when you look, we're doing about 270, 280 kilometres an hour. Good start. Pritchard drops back in behind Spencer. My apologies. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. Reading off the timing, not what I'm seeing. Good start. 3 wide. We're starting to see a little bit further back. These guys, they know what's on the table. Green running. That's what we want to see. A little bit squirrely too, I've noticed. From around about that middle, these top 10, top 12, they're really keeping their nose clean and watching the guy in front of them, because that's all they're doing. Here's that bobble from a little bit further back. You want to watch that. It's about the start of a race like this is cider laps. Get your eye in. Who can you trust? You already know by now. Oh, you need to get past him when the time's right. All status quo at the minute. 3 wide, a little bit further back. It's the 904 of Nicholas Tamores. He's moving back with Wade Sheedy by the look of this as they pop back in. When they get a line, or they might be on the charge actually. They might be on the charge starting a 3rd line. We'll keep an eye on this as they push up through. Yes, they're doing the opposite what I thought. 904 and the 03. Sheedy and Tamores now pushing it around the outside. Remember, you can go a little too early here at Talledega. Any super speedway, mind you. We'll stay on board with this and we'll see what happens as Wade Sheedy likes to get to the front, as does Nick. They're pushing the way up. I tell you, there's 2 cars versus about 5, although fuel savings in key. They're up now. We're 3 wide up the front, 2 deep, and I thought I seen a couple of drivers a little bit further back that wanted to have this crack as well. But have a look at these Platinum boys now, playing the cards right. It only takes for a little bobble and, well, everything can go pear-shaped. Not at the minute. Tom Pritchard, he's down the inside. He's holding that bottom row. That's where he likes to be. The Pinnacle boys, they're not giving him an inch around the outside. They drop down. There we go. Bit of a check up there. He's left Wade high and dry. Oh no, teammates. Because Wade Sheedy now is left out there on his own. He's going to have to come up and collect him. He does. There we go. Wade would have probably given him a spray. Come on, Nick, what are you doing? Went back and picked him up. That was that though, 3 wide at the start. We've now had 4 laps. Now that 3rd line, we got 4 cars up into that fence. Remember, Talledega is wider than Daytona, so 3 wide now and quite comfortable at the end, especially when we're pushing elbow out. 4 wide, 5 wide. Use the apron 6. That high line, it just drops off a little bit and comes back to it, but now they've got a 3rd car in there. I'm trying to have a look, in fact, who that is. He's the 550 machine, so that's Tristan Koch. He's coming up on the high line, and the 3rd line's starting to work now. As you can see, a few drivers starting to push through. Tyson McElvoy wants to have a crack and go up. And they all merge back down now. The car still left out there, so one of the Platinum guys as well, so half done here. Too wide for most of it. 6 of 80 green racing so far. Hope everyone's liking what they're seeing. Oh, we've got to bust up, and that was that third line. That was that third line. We got a big one. Lap 54, I thought the big one was sort of predicted. No faster pairs in this series as well. We'll have to unpack that. Tyson McEvoy's involved in that. We can see the 69's involved in that. Who we got up the front? Spencer survives. Pritchard survives. Rob, Davison, Stevens. Sheedy, I think he was involved in that. Let's have a look. I was just about to settle in to listen to these cars, so I wasn't exactly looking. I was looking at more of the timing. First caution, lap 7. Let's have a look. Quite a few cars involved. That yellow flag, well, you can push your issue sometimes by throwing it 3 wide too early. And it was somewhere up the front. We'll try and slow this down. And oh, okay, so there was a Pinnacle car involved. We'll get another grab at that, actually. We'll get another grab at that, and we'll slow it down from the start, because you have a look at this. He gets a little bit of a nudge. I think that Pinnacle, is that? Not too sure who that is. He gets a nudge from a truck. He gets pushed up into the wall. Platinum car had nowhere to go, into the side of him, and then it's just it's a domino effect from there. A couple of cars really getting caught up in that. Or quite a few cars. How many we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, plus the side cars down here. Good driving for Troy Mortensen to get through all that as well. But that was yeah, that was something early that I didn't think on seeing. As we'll go back live now. Unfortunate. We got McEvoy, Reese May, Dwayne Priest, Walsh, Mortensen, busy pit lane, but who comes out of it with only fuel and not a 30-40 minute pit stop. So I thought it was in fact that third line. I actually straight out just blamed that the third row forming a little bit too early. Apologies to you boys. It was actually, they were in 2 line astern, and just gets a bit of a nudge there. That was Nicholas Walsh. Let's have a look. So it wasn't Walsh, so it's already happened there. Oh, just another look at it. Looks worse and worse. More times we look at it, we'll steer clear of that. A few drivers. We got a lap, a wave around there. I think that might have been Chris Tomlin in the 212, and is 10% of this race. 80 laps here at Talledega. They've pit once. They're going to have to pit again. And I'll still try and find that I'm pretty sure is a Pinnacle car. Let's go back, have another look at it. It does look worse and worse every time we look, but I want to find this this car, this number. Still no better off. Anyway, that's one for the archives. Stevens, Pritchard, Spencer, Davidson, Donnelly, Marshall, Bruns, Fair, and Fenton. Changing that that quickly, trying to mix up a couple of these things. We've got a couple of drivers, I do believe, starting to double up now. Maybe take a second dip, or it might just be opening for the rest of the field. Dave Douglas is in the pit lane. He's back here. Number 10 machine. He's coming in. We'll see where he is once they get out there in relation to Tom Pritchard. Remember Andy Barber, A couple of other guys as well. I think Skirley's in the mix, although he was caught up. 43 trucks. First caution. You'll see this. They'll form up. They'll go again. Long green runs. Well, that's what we hope for. I think that's what everyone hopes for. Keep as many trucks out on the field. And we'll roll up again. And I've said this countless times as well. Once we go green, remember the Geico restart zone is in play. Once we go green, it's all about putting your mindset back at that start of the race when you're all bunched up and getting into your rhythm. To be fair, lap 9 of 80, they probably were only getting into their rhythm from the green flag being flown from race start. So, well, back into it. Pritchard this time will start on the outside. Probably watch a few of these drivers try to move down as quick as they can. We'll have a look down the field too. Dave Douglas, as the pace truck peels off. Dave Douglas is in 30th at the minute. Let's have a look at this restart. Let's see what they can do. It'll tick over 10 laps. Done. 70 to go once we cross that strike. Stevens will lead us to green. First caution, lap 90. Geico restart zone is coming up. Waits till about the 2/3 mark and we're gone again. Slow restart. We're seeing that. We've seen that on the green. The start procedure. Tom Pritchard, look at that. Just drops in easy. That's exactly where you want to be, down the bottom. Have a look at some of these awesome cameras. Thanks to Track Cancer Gourmets. Bottom line is most of it this time. One big string of cars. Dan Stevens, Tom Pritchard, Spencer Donnelly Davison. This time we're all about clicking into gear now. Hey Gordy, how you going, mate? Hope everything's going well. I'll tell you, he is going well. We're just gone green. First caution of the night. This is a big one. We'll have a look at it a little bit later, but $1,000 up for grabs. Dave Douglas, Tom Pritchard, Andy Barber, Skirley, still a few of them can clinch that, plus the championship. Stevens now, he's just sitting there. That's how close it is here. Thought there was a better one. Let's have a look. Maybe not. That's the View Black Middle Finger Racing. Back to Skypoynt Racing. It's a Pinnacle. 3 teams, top 3. Kate Donnelly, Sim Boys. He's in there as well. Watch for the Sim Boys. There's really, really smart at driving super speedways. They stick together, and I'll tell you, I think we got 8 signed up for Series 3, so look out, Sim Boys. Safety in numbers as Wade Sheedy wants to get to the front. We've seen that from the start of this race. The 03 Platinum Machine leading that high line. 3 rows almost when the 7 of Marshall wanted to take it 3 wide early. Learnt, pulls out. Stevens, Pritchard, Spencer down the bottom. Sheedy, Fenson, and Maxie Marshall's up there. That's your top 3. Good restart again. I should stop saying that because, well, you've seen what happened when I said it last time now. The bottom row gets a wriggle on. Wade Sheedy wants to get a push. Watch that 03. He wants to get up the top and he wants to drop down and he wants to sit up there. He's a leader. He's said that in chats. Would rather lead than follow. As they get a little bit squirrely out of the try over there, the mid-pack. The top line, still got 9 cars up there as the 03 used a little bit of side draft. The 110 comes down, and that's how you make the high line work. Get down there close. If you can trust the drivers around you, get down there close. Use the side draft, slow them down. and get your push out of the corners. Lap 13 of 80. It's all looking good so far. A couple of linking cars in there. Hopefully it's on their end, not mine. Although I tell you, they'd probably disagree with me. They'd probably hope it's on my end. 023 of Kate Donnelly just following there. Sitting right in the middle. Wade Sheedy still pushing. Wants to get this done. Lap 13 of 80. Let's jump on board with Wade Sheedy. Round the outside. Let's crank it up. See if we can get it done. He needs help though. He doesn't want to get left out high and dry. See what he can do here. See if he can get the draft. 03 Platinum Machine here at Talledega. Just see how close they get. Wade Sheedy doing a good job, still trying to push up that high line. There's no room to get down even if they wanted to. High line now dwindling. 8 trucks up the high line. The rest of the field has moved and stayed down the bottom line. A little bit of squirrely for the 110. Whoa, that was close. You don't want that, and you lose momentum as well. That's the front pack. Then you go a little bit further back and it goes all single line astern in the draft, about 1.5. You wouldn't let it go more than 1.6 seconds behind you. You're going to lose the draft. These guys at the high line working together though. You want to always have a truck within 1.5 seconds. That's in good health. Or you're going nowhere. Right on the 10 machine, Dave Douglas getting pushed by Luke Kenny. Drops down, not enough room for Luke Kenny. So, oh look at that Roffey! Oh look at that! So Craig Roffey lets him in. That's I was just about to say that's NASCAR for you, no loyalty. But well, 030 is a gentleman there because most of the people, other drivers rather, would have just locked him out there. We've got his teammate Christopher Tomlin pushing up around the outside, a little bit further back from him though. He's on the high line by himself, just dropping back, chilling. Superspeedway at his specs. Aidan Schulz number 1, he's riding around with Adam Malone, Colin Finland, Darren McKenzie. There's the teamwork, that's what we talk about. We'll see the Sim Boys link up as well. Andy Barber, remember, he'll be there at the end. All these drivers at the end, they'll be there. Troy Mortensen, 023. This is where I'm safe. This is where I like to sit, right at the back of the field. This is where I feel comfortable, and Troy, well, he probably feels the same. Buy your ticket to the last 10 laps. 1 green, white checker too if we need it. NASCAR overtime, as they call it in real world. Only 1 attempt at that though. Dan Stevens getting pushed by Tom Pritchard. Greg Spencer in there for the ride as well. Highline still trying to get that running. I was rude as well. We haven't introduced you to our drivers here tonight. We got 3 drivers in. Top left, Christopher Tomlin, 212. Top right, Aidan Schulz. the truck 1, and Dan Stevens down the bottom there as well. So we'll try and get a lap with them. It's yeah, definitely concentration on chop space there. The leaders of this race so far. Spit it out, Pete. Stevens, Pritchard, Spencer, Sheedy, Donnelly, Fenson, Davison, Marshall, Bruns, and Kai Turner. That's your top 10 so far here at Talledega. 1 caution, that was at lap 9. Now at lap 19. Trying to look, probably looking at around about 27, 30 laps for a fuel stint. Look for drivers at around about that lap 40 mark. Or 30 mark rather. The very latest, I think, to pit. Maybe in another 6 or 7. 6 or 7 laps we'll see green pit stops, and that's what we like to see here. Up 38 positions for Wade Sheedy leading that high line. But that's what we want to see, green stops. Make them use their brain, don't give them a caution. 550, Tristan Koch goes up high, lets the field. No, that's, yeah, it is Tristan Koch, I do believe 550. Second guessing my calling. Is a couple of laps down too already, so not the start for him, but remember, if you're out of sequence, you can race the guys around you. I'm not too sure, that might even be on my end, a couple of these blinky cars. I'm not too sure if it's coming through, but keep an eye on it. How good's this race been so far? How good's the series been? Remember, Series 3 sign-ups. There's already 30 trucks signed up and paid. Go check out Skypoynt Racing. It's going to be good. No holiday either. We do Talledega this week, Daytona next week. The week after, there's another 3 rounds. We start off with the triple or the crown races first off again. So I think we worked out, and Tom says it's a dream series. 5 weeks from this week right through into the first 3 weeks of the next season. All Superspeedway. So for everyone, the Superspeedway fans, tune in every Tuesday night, LRE Sports, and also the Skypoynt Racing channels. 110 gets a little bit loose there and can be done. Probably maybe change something. Sean Rigby's out, unfortunately. It's a tough night, mate. Come back next week at Daytona. It's going to be a B limit, B class limit for Series 3 as well. And I'll tell you, I can't tell you exactly the names, obviously, but there's some big names in here again. Filling up quick, so go check them out. Right now, though, still this one and one more to go in this series, this season. $1,000 up for grabs. Royal Triple Crowns still in play. 15th or higher for Dave Douglas and BMX Bandits to wrap up this championship here tonight. And I tell you, he's sitting there and he's going to be driving, I think, like a hawk and just watching everything as it plays out. He's getting a little bit of a push there. Luke Kenny behind him. Not too sure if the Skypoynt Southern Stars boys will like that. They'd be saying, no, leave him out to dry. It's been good banter too throughout the week as we see some green stops, or is he just getting out of the way? Out of sequence car there, I thought was getting out of the way. Lap 24 of 80, Stevens, Pritchard, Sheedy, Spencer, Fenson. They're the 5 up the front. We're down here though, up 21 positions for Peter Jones, 18th position, and there's a big line of trucks behind him. And wherever you look, well, there's concentration. Mad Dog Racing, well, that was disappointing. Yeah, a couple of drivers out here tonight that I think will be disappointed already. And tell us as well in the chat, user drivers out there as well, and of course the viewers, what would you rather do if you were behind the wheel in a long race like this? Would you rather crash out at lap 1 or crash out at lap 79, just say, in a race like this? Because, well, I still rather crashing out at the end, even though you've wasted time. You still have a run. You know, you've had a crack. Where it's sort of, if you crash out at lap 1, I think what I think is, well, what could have been. That's my take on it. Be interesting to see what everyone at home and a couple of the drivers that are watching as well thinks as well. Mad Dog. Yeah, I've noticed that. People running 3 wide, 80 lap race, super speedways, mate. It's, and I can't really say much about that. I push it 3 wide all the time. Not great, but, well, it's just a part of it, I guess. But that high line starting to link up, still running 2x2, 7 deep, 7 up the high line, still making it work. Wade Sheedy now still really starting to push on, starting to push the issue. Getting a big push rather from Henry Fenson. Will he drop down? Will he drop down? Tom Pritchard covers and went, I know what you're up to, mate. Although Tom Pritchard, he could and just backed out of there and just sat behind, because the number 6 machine, as we see smoke up ahead, the number 6 machine will be using a lot more fuel. He'll be looking at pitting as soon as lap critical is. John Day, easily lap 79. I'm with you there, mate. At least it's not what could have been. You're still annoyed. You still wasted a lot of effort and time, but you still got to have a crack. But these guys, how good is it? 8. 2 wide, 8 deep now at the front. Okay, Wade Sheedy's just dropping back a little bit. He may have got a call from one of his teammates as he goes high. Save fuel, mate, you're burning. Remember, this is a fuel game, no tyre game. 27 of 80. Last time we seen that pace truck was at lap 9. It went in at the end of lap 9 as we got an out of sequence car already, and they're going to play a part here tonight. But I think they haven't really been much of an issue throughout this season. They've been doing exactly what you're seeing now, staying high. You'll see briefly 3 wide for a minute. Just trying to have a look at that truck 4. Might have a custom paint on there. Chris Tomlin down pit road first. Oh, it just moved on me. Looked away, I thought I had him. Chris Tomlin down pit road. Or just exiting. I'll have a look too, because I'm not too sure where he qualified. Pit lane time 40 seconds, so that was fuel only stopped. 12.6 seconds he was stopped. Denny Vassell only 8.73, so Denny Vassell was on the save earlier on. He only needed single digits in the way of minutes for fuel. Pritchard still leads this thing though out in front, lap 28 of 80. Wade Sheedy's now pulled back and said, nah, I've had enough of this. 110 of Henry Fenson. He's like, no, I'm up 16. I can go another one. Hard charges as well. Glenn Klein up 24, up 27 for Reese May. Big movers. Guy Turner, Shannon Blackburn up 25. A trio of 23s for Jones, Douglas and Sheedy. Each up 23 positions. And a couple of drivers on the other end of it. Down 37 for Nigel Patton. Unfortunate for you, mate. Down 28 for Jordan and Hoppett. Seen Jordan come second in the SRW trucks last night, so that's unfortunate. Also, I think a couple of these drivers down a few laps early on. We'll have a look how many drivers are on the lead lap. 29 drivers still on the lead lap, and 5 drivers off just by 1, and the rest will a few. So it's pretty good, actually, to be honest. Out of 43, we still have 34 trucks on the lead lap. 1 caution. That was 20 laps ago. Remember, fuel, we're looking 27, 30 laps at an absolute maximum, and where you are is probably going to be, you know, where you are. Either you're out in front like time in a pack, or you're sucking in behind like Greg Spencer there. So you could probably think Spencer, the 29 truck there, could probably get an extra lap or two. But then you also want to probably pit when the leader does and just top up to the end, and you're going to be putting in shorter fuel each time, as we've got a truck staying high, getting out of the way. It's a Simboy truck too. Pritchard, Fenton, Spencer. We've got a couple of drivers coming down pit road now as well. We'll see who they are as they enter rather. Maxie Marshall, Kai Turner, Blackburn, Klein, Sheedy, all down pit road. And the guys up the front stayed out. Tom Pritchard, Fenton, Spencer, May, Kenny, up 21 positions into 6th. They've all stayed out. When are these guys going to pit as well? So remember, they would have pit. The guys that went in and done their pit, as I'll do some numbers on the fly, they pit last. That's saying 30 now, so they're going to pit on lap 8. These could have been the drivers that got caught up in that accident as well, that pit that extra lap early. Let's have a look at the front. Let's see what they do. The front pack now. We got only 3 up on the high line. You'll see them move down because they'll have to pit. You've got I think that's Kenny in amongst there. Yeah, he is. Kenny's up the top, so we're still running too high. That is fairly indicative that these guys up high aren't yet to pit. When we see them guys drop, they know they're pit. That they want to pit. As got a little bit. Oh, we got 3 wide. You don't want this at the front early on. There we go. So 110 down. 110 will pit next lap. 96 of Reese May. You'll see him come down and does. Luke Kenny left up the high there. So missed that trick up there, I think, did Luke. He wants to fight himself back down, but because they're teammates, they let themselves in. Pritchard in the lane. Quite a few drivers in the lane. Reese May stays out. I was almost certain that those guys would take a dive down pit road with the rest of them, but they stay down the bottom though. Look at this team up high. That's the middle finger racing on. You would think it's round 15. I would have all these people's teams all wrapped up and ready to go, but no, I don't. 111, 110. So that's Henry Fenton. No, I just said 111. Here we go. Here we go. Talking to myself. That's the first sign of madness. Answering yourself back the second. Got Colin Brunson Co. there. So they all pit together. They went down pit road lap 30. So they'll be all on the same strategy as well. Okay, Donnelly down the lane. So the leaders are coming now. Donnelly, Davison, Wellman, Kenny, Welsh, Priest, May. And here's this second run. Fenton, the 110. Henry Fenton's leading this race at the minute. He's got Greg Spencer and Pritchard behind him. Henry Fenton hasn't pit. Henry Fenton pit on lap 7. Be one for Jai, I think, if he was here. Throw it over to him. I'm not too sure of the reasoning behind that as Nicholas Walsh moves down the lane. Unless timing's having a dive on me, Henry Fenton's still to pit. It's a big stint too. 27 laps. 27 to 30 we thought on the stint. I wonder if he can save one complete stop. Maybe that's the his reasoning. Find out. 34 of 80. We've still got 56 laps to go. .46 laps, mind you. Reese May, Davison, Donnelly, Wellman, Fenton, Pritchard, Spencer. Pit strategies. We got them to think. Use their brains. They pit under green. How good's that? And we've been green since lap number 9, round 15. The Skypoynt NASCAR Trucks E-Series. We've got Chop up in the webcam, so we'll jump on board, see where he's sitting. People are playing at home, that's Christopher Tomlin. Sitting back there, a little bit further back, so we may have another stab at that a little bit later on. We want to see some pack racing. Big crew here. Let's jump on board. Defending champion, Aiden Schulz, the number 1, is riding with Adam Malone. And Aiden, well, didn't like that. He looks like he's dropping off though. Probably be a good time to jump on board. So let's crank it up. Defending champion, probably out of reach for the champion, but can still push his mates home. Let's have a look. The laps go on, we find less and less drivers hanging that top row. 80 laps, I would suggest pit twice. Can we get home from here? Lap critical. No, that was critical for the big one. I didn't find out lap critical. 27 to 30 laps, you're probably looking 50. Lap 50, one would presume. We'll have a look though as the race goes on. Lap 50, let's see if I have to eat my words after this or not. Davison though, he's leading at the minute. Donnelly, Pritchard, Wellman. Strategies. Top, Troy Davison, Kay Donnelly, pit lap 33, as did Priest, Wellman and May. Pritchard's in there. He pit on lap 32. He went in a lap early, as did Greg Spencer, Dave Douglas, and Aiden Schulz as well. If I have a look at these pit lap times, it looks like that lap 32 and lap 30 was the magic mix here tonight. And well, what do you reckon in chat? Who's going to win this thing? I know it's early. We're not even halfway through, and as we all know, super speedways, well, that's that really the race starts. So the 70 laps before the final 10 is the pre-race show. It's the bidding war, isn't it? Really, bidding war is probably more accurate for the ticket to the end. The Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory golden ticket of NASCAR racing. Buy your way to the end. Probably is that line. Went a little bit too far then. Troy Davison, Donnelly and Wellman, they're on screen. This front bunch, and we'll have to go back a little bit further as well. We've been neglecting a little the guys a little bit further back. Remember, we got the Southern Stars working together on the train, and at this stage, you just grab anyone. That's Darren McKenzie now working with D-Mac. Adam Malone's just dropped off a little bit. And I'll quote, I was talking to Tom probably at the start of the season, and you need to listen to your gut in super speedways. You need to be intuitive. You just see something before it happens, because, well, don't I know it? You don't have time to react. What's the speed we're doing? We should be doing around about these guys, 290 kilometres an hour. Well, that's on 03 of Sheedy. He is in the draft, 290. You'll touch on probably 295, 296. 30 cars around you, 40 cars around you. Everything happens in an eye blink. Good little bunch of cars though. It's around about that 20th position, and we could probably go back to another bunch. The Roffies hanging out down here as well. There's Andy Barber. Just chilling. You'll see all them boys link up as well. They'll stay on the same strategy if they can throughout this race. They might be on different sides of the racetrack, but as long as they stay on the lead lap, they'll all link back up. And you watch the Sim boys link up. You watch Skypoynt, Southern Stars, BMX Bandits. They link up. It's like a colours race almost when you get to the end of these races. It's great. Highline's working now. It's the 66 of Colin Bruns. Go back up the front, lap 41 of 80. Seen a few drivers get into the 51 lap times. Lap times don't really matter though. I think the quickest we got out on track was around about a 51.4. Over halfway mark. Still. Probably got around about that 10 laps to go, and we'll see them come in if we stay green, and that'll be it. That'll be go to the end. I'm guessing lap 53 will be critical. Lap critical. They say the big one at lap 54, so it could be touching wood, or it could be right a little bit there. Or not touching wood, fighting with fire. Davison's doing a good job. He's leading, although he'll be using a little bit extra fuel. He's got Cade Donnelly behind him. Talledega, I remember, in another series. I think I said it a couple of weeks ago as well. Maybe at Talledega on the second time we went there, that he finished, I think, leading the race or second. No, he won the race on his lid. That was pretty cool. Reese May. He turns up a little bit squirrely in this battle. And Greg Spencer. Again, so you've got the guys working in partnership, teamwork. Tom Pritchard starting to just move back the field just a little bit. He's got Chris Tomlin to his right. Henry Fenson down there. Henry Fenson. I'm not too sure if the timings worked on for his pit stop, but it's saying he came down the pit lane on lap 7. We'll keep an eye on that, see if that's accurate. He would be right on the edge, I think. Or he'd be over. I'd say that's a timing glitch. Darren McKenzie leads his second group of cars. All still on the lead lap as we jump on board, and teammate right behind him, giving him a good old push. Know when to push. Oh, have a look at that engine. That's how close they are. Oof. Takes a different style of racer to be able to withstand that as well. Know when to push. I don't. Unfortunately, I have not a clue how to do it correctly. Don't push in the corners and push gently in the straights. I do that, well, so I think I am, and the guy up ahead, well, he ends up eating shit, actually, so I actually asked the guys when we're doing laps in preparation if they want to bump. They're like, no, Pete, I'm fine. I'm like, okay, fair enough. I only wanted to help. Can't blame him though. Davison doing a good job. Donnelly, May, Spencer, Wellman, Priest. Up 28 for Dwayne Priest. The 908 machine. See, he's got some good company around him. Dave Douglas behind him. Wellman in front of him. Strength in numbers. Works in so many levels. Works here on the oval scene as well. That 45 of 80 as well, you'd be starting to get a few cramps in that right foot, especially if you're 023 of Troy Davison out in front. You definitely don't have to lift. is out in front at the minute, lap 46 of 80 here at Talledega. Round 15 of the Skypoynt Trucks E-Series. Remember, link is in the description if you want to join for Season 3. Tickets are selling out quick. It's a buy-in, $25 buy-in, but, well, what they've got on offer outweighs this. Just over halfway here. Let's enjoy some of the sights and sounds as the guys settle in. Let's settle in because, well, we're going to need our energy for the last 10 to 15 laps. We've stayed green since lap 9. Let's enjoy this. Skypoynt NASCAR Trucks E-Series. Troy Davison leads the first bunch. Darren McKenzie leads the second bunch. 49 of 80 here for the Skypoynt NASCAR Trucks E-Series. Troy Davison 0-2-3 machine leading his teammate Kay Donnelly out in front at the minute. We'll see trucks move in probably at around about lap 53 mark, and at that point we can get home. It's been a great night of racing. 40 laps clean. How good's it been so far? Darren McKenzie, as I mentioned, is leading with his teammate Aidan Schulz, the second bunch. And this battle a little bit further back as well is working. Staying in there. They can see that the lead is out in front, or the lead bunch. Just stay in tune with them. And you know you're going to be there and thereabouts. How good's it been so far? All the guys are working in together. And this is only a smidge what you're going to see for the rest of this season and also Season 3. It's just getting started here at Skypoynt NASCAR Trucks E-Series. Hope you're enjoying the show. It's only going to get better. Back up the front though, this battle. When will they pit? Will they do the splash and dash at the end? Or are they waiting for a caution? These leaders pit on lap 33. Most they can go is 63, I envision. Probably around about 60 they'll need to come in at this rate. Davison, Donnelly, May, Spencer, Wellman, that's your 5 at the minute. Dwayne Priest, he's pushing on there in 6th position, up 28. Dave Douglas, and look at him pushing through. The number 10 machine, he's got Tom Pritchard right behind him. And Henry Fenson there for company as well. All contenders. We've got Kenny, I think, hanging out the top and letting these leaders get through. You'll see the intensity in this race, and it's quite evident when these guys know that they can get home. The intensity of the race lives, and that's when the race starts. We're around about probably 28 laps still yet off that. I do envision probably around about lap 65 to 70. We're going to see this race just go up another gear. Can it get any better? Of course it can. Only one way but up. Only one way but up. 26 cars, 27 cars still on, no, I do apologise for that. 17 cars still on the lead lap. When will these guys pit? That's the question. I've asked the drivers multiple times as well, how do you come into one of these? As of late, we've had lots of cautions. Do you plan for cautions or do you not? And they said, nah, you can't. The second you find yourself planning for cautions, a caution-filled race, the second you've lost confidence, you need to push on and do and organise everything in your brain. Do everything under green. Couple of lap cars coming into play as well. That's the 212 of Christopher Tomlin. What's going to happen? The train's going high. Out of sequence cars, looks like they're staying low. And this is where you can run into problems here as well. Don't want to jinx anything here, but when you start having to move up and down as a team, and you watch as well, this back car, 45, who is it? 909, so it's Dave Douglas, is at the back of this train, as he'll get the call, or he'll be the one to call them in, as Tomlin just moves off. Oh no! Spins it around. Oh, Troy Mortensen dodges. Wade Sheedy in the lane. I tell you, Troy Mortensen got a good view of that. Tomlin will just having a look at him, just losing, going a lap down there, and spins it coming into pit lane. I tell you, it's easy to be done. Your foot flat on the pedal, on the accelerator pedal for so long. As you see this high line starting to move up, the 908 of Dwayne Priest got the high line running. Dave Douglas now, remember, he needs to finish 15th or higher here tonight. Thomas Pritchard runs with him. Here we go. Tom Pritchard, Dave Douglas at this point of the race. I'm sure they're just going to work together. They wouldn't be doing this in the final 10. These are contenders. Talledega. Dave Douglas is clear. He drops down. Surprising. Whoa, no! Fenson across the nose. Fenson goes around. Will this cause a caution? We're going to stay green here, I think. The 110 didn't get the call. Spotter didn't give the call. Straight across the nose. Dave Douglas, Tom Pritchard, they went through. They went past. Also, I think Dwayne Priest was leading these guys at the start. Straight across the nose. Oh, unfortunate for Fenson. Good heads-up driving for the most of that field, though, to get through. As, excuse me, we see a very, very busy pit road. The leaders are in. Dave Douglas stays out. Tom Pritchard stays out. Fenson stays out. Reese May stays out. In the lane, Davison, Donnelly, Schulz, McKenzie, Spencer, Wellman, Roffey, Welsh. Priest is in there, so Priest is taking him out of that that battle. He was up there with Dave Douglas. Takes himself out. Race off pit road. They all get through. Dave Douglas, though, stays out. 24 laps to go. We can get home. It's all now. Here we go. Dave Douglas in. Tom Pritchard. He follows him. Where's Andy Barber? Andy Barber needs to finish in front of him. Andy Barber's pit. Andy Barber's come out. Race off pit road. Who was off first? Fifth or first? Oh, number 5 or number 1. Sorry, getting a little bit carried away. Race off pit road for Andy Barber and Aidan Schulz. Still on the lead lap. Lap 56. The leaders are on. And so is 25 cars. Can you believe it? 23 laps to go. Reese May leads at the minute. Tom Pritchard's in. Last pit for Reese May on 33. You'll see Reese May come into the lane. Darren McKenzie. Here we go. And have a look at these cars. Down on, up on the high line, I should say. For astern. I did say it was like a colour thing earlier on in the broadcast. It's almost like a colour show. You use your last pit stop to find your mate. The 908 goes a little bit high. That's Breeze. You find the last pit stop, you find your teammate, you find your colours. There we go. There's, I think that is Andy Barber falling back. He's looking for his colours. Aidan Schulz, he'll drop in front and does. The 13 of Peter Jones is going to go there for the ride as well. And have a look at this. They're picking up Tom Pritchard. No, he's not. That might be Colin. This is what makes it hard here when you see all the colours together. There's Colin. No, the wrong Colin. There we go. So they're going to push the 66 up now. So we got there in the end. 66 Skypoynt Racing left the pit lanes. Aidan Schulz, Andy Barber lifted. Teamwork at its best. Luke Kenny drops below the apron. Oh, he's actually exiting pits as well, so he's good to get home. Remember, stay tuned. Directly after this, we'll go live on the Skypoynt Racing Facebook page, and we'll unpack what will be a pretty easy night in the review room tonight. We've only had one caution. 22 laps to go. It's anyone's. Reese May, Douglas, Wellman, McKenzie. Right down to Glenn Clean, car 64 in 25th. As they all trundle out of the pit lane as well. So 33 cars on the lead lap. I had nothing to add to that because that is absolutely a stellar job from these boys. We are on iRacing, we are on a sim, but if you think NASCAR's easy, guess again. Jump on someone's rig and give it a crack. High intensity racing. Remember, we're in a pack, 288 kilometres an hour. That's Dwayne Priest, up 30 from where he started. Everything happens super quick. Troy Davison, he's working in there. He's got Dave Douglas. Remember, Dave Douglas, position 15 or higher. He wraps up the series, and well, because this is what I do, but I even though we probably know it, Neil probably cheer about it, we won't officially announce it until the post-race show following the final round next week at Daytona. So write that in your calendar, everyone. Next Tuesday is going to be an absolute belter. And if we keep going the way we're going, the championship could be wrapped up and the Daytona leg of the Royal Triple Crown could go down to the wire. We've still got 20 laps to go here, but it's looking like that $1,000 still could be a winner here for Dave Douglas. Wellman, May, Priest, Davison, Douglas. And Davison, there's your 5. got a team at the front that's really starting to block them. They got two line astern. That's Middle Finger Racing. Have a look. A couple of drivers out of sequence as well, because we are showing the 45 of Wellman actually in the lead of this race. Wellman is the third car back on the inside, the 45 truck. The team in front, they're out of sequence as well. So this is where Wellman, Priest, and all them drivers now, they really have to be patient. They're not racing these guys for position, but it can be very easy to get hot under the collar. No blue flags really in oval racing. Be there at the end. Saving fuel though is the 45 machine. There'll be one thing to be happy, but Tom Pritchard still pushing along. Tom Pritchard, Dave Douglas. So this is the two. Watch these guys. Dave Douglas goes high. Tom Pritchard stays low. 96 of Reese May gets a little bit squirrely in there as we get into the back end of this race. 18 laps. Definitely 18 laps to go. Definitely the race of the season. 100%. When's the big one? When's the big one? Let's have a look. I can put that that ticket to the No, I can't. I thought I could change it to how many laps we've done, but quick math, 63. 63 laps, 54, well, the prediction. Not correct on this time for the big one. Have a look at Dwayne Priest now. Effective race leader. Up on the high, you've got Wellman and Donnelly. Wellman boxed in. He hasn't yet to come up. You would probably find that he's going to come up behind Reese May here. Let's have a look. So Darren McKenzie goes up, blocks Wellman. You got to make your move because there's no loyalty. We've already mentioned that. It's been proven time and time again. 45 is boxed in. Remember the first few cars, trucks rather, first four. Well, Priest is in between them now. They're all out of sequence cars now as the top run or top line gets a wriggle on with Troy Davison now. Teammate right behind him in the 41K Donnelly starting to push on. Good move from Darren McKenzie to block that position from Wellman. Tom Pritchard's behind him as well. Dave Douglas lingering. That's the name we've used a lot here tonight, and rightly so. A little bit squirrely now for Reese May as he drops down. 41 of Kay Donnelly goes in. You can tell they're in the discourse together as Roffey wants to take it 3 wide. Only just enough for a truck to fit in that gap, and they slot in nicely as we go 3 wide just briefly. We've gone caution with 15 laps to go. So it was Henry Fenson. So we're watching these guys up the front. I'm not too sure what we're going to see when we cross to these cameras. I had no idea that any of this went on, although we've got a couple of damaged cars involved. That looks like the 23 Platinum machine of Troy Mortensen. As we have a look at the 5 of Andy Barber, I'm not too sure whether he's got through that or not, but well, let's not guess. Let's jump onto a Skypoint action replay. Henry Fenson will go high in the air at first. What happened? Henry Fenson was involved and Troy Mortensen was involved, so I think we've grabbed the right one here. We'll slow it down and try and unpack it as it happens. Oof. As I looked away from the screen, we got a flying car. Oh no! Oh, Sheedy gets through. Unlucky for them 2 cars. That's Andy Barber. That's Andy Barber. I'm pretty sure that was Andy Barber in the back of it. We'll go pick up that again. If so, that is unfortunate for Mr. Andy Barber. It was definitely one of the Skypoint cars, wasn't it? So jump on board Andy Barber now. Oh no, unfortunate. Here we go. Big lock up. What can he see? Nothing. So Andy gets through. Andy gets through. So that was... No, it's still... Yeah, so Andy gets through. I thought it was a Skypoynt car that got nabbed there, but... Let it run for a little bit. Yeah, so Andy actually got through. So it might have been Colin or another one of the Skypoynt. We do have Colin stopped, yes. So this is what I wanted to do. Get the Skypoynt, the logo up there on screen as much as we can. Here's Colin. Had nowhere to go. Race control or race review, they'll look at that, obviously. That wasn't even Colin, Pete. Here we go. Here we go. This is what I wanted to see anyway. Oh, into the 51, drills him. Oh, he's actually off the air. Oh, how lucky was that car there, the 204, to get through. Let's go back live. Second caution of the night, would you believe it? Got Aaron Dillon in the comments. How you going, mate? Second caution, 13 laps to go. How good's this? Race panning out? Davison, McKenzie, Donnelly, Pritchard, Reese May. That's your top 5 so far. Dave Douglas, 11th position. He'll wrap it up if he finishes 15th or higher. Andy Barber's back there in 16th as well. This brings everything sort of close together. Everyone can get home from this point. They're all close. We've got around about 24, possibly even a little bit more cars on the lead lap, because it's showing. So we've got close to 30 cars on the lead lap, everyone. Yeah, take a bow. I'm dumbfounded. Not only is this probably one of the better oval races that I've had to watch, it's probably, for this season, it's probably ever, to be quite honest. Skypoynt NASCAR Truck Series. Series 3 is going to be a cracker, but the rest of this race is going to be a cracker. Cautions can breed cautions. You would envision everyone stays out here. Everyone will stay behind the pace truck. Get this thing started as quick as we can go, as quick as we can. As we watch these guys under pace truck conditions at the minute. We've seen what happened. We'll have another quick look, and I'll just have a short little intermission and grab another drink for myself, and by that time we should be live. But this is why we're under caution. Few cars involved. Only second caution of the night. Nearly 30 trucks, more than 30 trucks still on the lead lap. Skypoynt NASCAR Truck Series. Nowhere else you'd rather be here on a Tuesday night. It's going to be go right from the get-go. The Geico restart zone, remember, is in play for this league. There's no holds bar now. 12 to go. We will go into to the green-white checker or NASCAR overtime if we need to, and only one attempt on it. That'll be if we see a flag with 2 to go. It'll be next flag wins. Pace truck pulls away, pulls down into pit road. Geico restart zone coming up. 12 laps to go. Round 15 of the Skypoynt NASCAR trucks. This one and one more. Superspeedways has taken the centre stage to finish what a brilliant series it has been. Davison will lead us to green when we get going. Mackenzie's up there, Donnelly's there, Pritchard, who's going to win? Dave Douglas is in there as well. We're green again. Let's heat it up. This is going to be a great finish. You listen to them trucks, get up to full rev, probably take about half a lap. 2 by 2, Darren McKenzie's up there, Pritchard's up there, 11 to go. 3, 4 wide, touching that down in the middle. We've got the Skypoynt and Southern Stars. They're pretty much in the same team. They're working together. We got the Sim boys down the bottom. They're working together. Kay Donnelly and Troy Davison. It's a colours game. It's all about getting there with your team. We've got Adam Malone down the bottom if needed. Support, extra support for the Southern Stars boys. It's all cracking up now. Darren McKenzie is leading this race on the high line at the minute. He's getting a good old push from Tom Pritchard behind. This is how close he is. Touch on 3 wide if they need it. Priest wants to go down the inside. No, better of it. You don't want to be going 3 wide. You want to catch it to the end. 10 to go. Darren McKenzie, Pritchard. This is where it's at. Darren McKenzie's leading at the moment. Tom Pritchard's pushing. Remember, Darren McKenzie's in the hunt, I think, as well. One of many series drivers wanting to go for this series, going down to the wire. 15 rounds it's been. This is what it's down to. We have 23 trucks, 24 trucks on the lead lap here at Talledega with 9 laps to go. This is where we're going to stay, I think, for the rest of this race, because it all could be won and lost here out in front. A caution can be brought out from a little bit further. And remember, like I said at the start of the broadcast, Daytona, 3 wide, you get a little bit uncomfortable. Here, not at Talledega, 3, 4 wide. Use the apron if you want to finish 5 wide. We've seen it before. I think tonight, if we're going to see it again, tonight's the night. Mover and shaker, Reese May up 31 position. Currently sits there in 5th. 29 for Dave Douglas. Remember, 15th or more. He can claim this championship here tonight. Good run for him, up 28 positions. 8 laps to go. Sim boys down the bottom. Southern Star Skypoynt up the top. And look at the run. We go caution. We go caution. Let's see who brought that out. The leaders, I'm not too sure it was anywhere near the lead. We'll go a little bit further back. The guys will stay out, I do believe. Yellow flag, Henry Fenton, I think, was involved in this one again. So a couple of unlucky bits of race for him as he pushes it 3 wide as we go high in the air. Oh, a little bit of a nudge. Oh, that's a Skypoynt car there, I think. No, that's Fenton. So I'm not too sure if anyone else was really caught out in that. So that's probably lucky. That's probably really, really lucky for most of the field. So we'll get a safety car. Or caution. 15 rounds, still calling it a safety car, Pete. Come on. 7 laps to go now. If it wasn't push then, it's definitely push now. Let's get Dave Douglas. Let's see if he's in the Discord. Have a quick chat to him if he is. He's probably ducking and weaving from me though. I think he's done that on purpose. Dave Douglas, not in the chat. That's all right. Concentration is key. Laps aren't counted under caution here as well, so we'll sit on 7 laps to go. Caution, we're still under caution. The lights are still on. Well, this is why we hang around for the last probably hour 10 minutes. This is the race start. That was all the pre-race, what we just seen. This is the race start. 7-lap dash here at Talledega. And effectively, as we're all closed up now, I'll probably be able to bring to you a bit of more accurate number where we're sitting. 24 drivers. No, well, you won't be because they're in the 90s. So we've got 28 drivers on the lead lap. 28 drivers could, or one of those 28 drivers could win this at the minute. Be there at the end. 6 laps to go. That's all you want. Be there at the end. All these guys have worked extra hard at sourcing their ticket. I actually called it a bidding war, didn't I, at the top of the broadcast? Not the pre-show. It's the bidding war. Who wants that ticket to the end? Well, they're still bidding because no one's made a decision. 25 cars want to win this. And I reckon at the start of this, 43 cars wanted to win it. I know because, well, you don't enter a race not wanting to win it. And that, I think, I can say that for everyone. Six laps to go. What would be going through your head if you're in one of these NASCAR trucks in the scenario? What's going through your head if you're Dave Douglas, Tom Pritchard, Andy Barber, Aidan Schulz? They're all up there. Some of them probably a little bit out of reach for the championship. Now more than ever, you sit there, you talk to your teammates in Discord, and you nut out a plan what we're going to do. You could probably bet you know what. Well, that question doesn't need to be asked, mate, because foot down, don't lift, let's go. Maybe a bit ruthless, but that's my answer to it anyway. Troy Davison. You'll see him work with his teammates, Darren McKenzie. So Darren McKenzie will start on the outside row up front. That'll bring Cade Donnelly up behind his teammate. And then look at this. Tom Pritchard. He will start our second row out front, which will bring him up behind Darren McKenzie once we form up, which we're starting to form up now. Adam Malone in the 3 truck. He's in 7th position, so he'll be, what's that, 4th row inside. You've got Andy Barber. He's an odd number as well, so he'll be on the inside row as well. A bit of a mixture for the teams, but have a look up front though. Simboys down bottom. Southern Stars, Skypoynt up top. I'm not too sure. I didn't think laps counted under caution. They are counting. So we're going to have 5 laps to go here. Possibly 4 laps to go. The lights are out on the pace truck at the minute. Could have been my blunder. Could have been a server blunder. But, well, the laps are counting. Darren McKenzie, Troy Davison, Tom Pritchard. That's your first 2 rows. Look at that. It's a good sign. Those lights are out on that NASCAR pace truck. By far the most enjoyable race I've watched this season. Although, how good's all of them been? The whole series has just been getting better and better. And add in a bit of cash prizes for the drivers and a whole new season. And that kicks off in 2 weeks' time. 5 laps to go, plus another race. Still in NASCAR, Skypoynt NASCAR Truck Series. It's come down to the wire. We didn't. I don't think if we thought back at week 1 whether it was going to be down to the wire like this. Actually, I think I've already said that. I actually laughed when they told me about the Royal Triple Crown. I said, "Oh, no wonder why you put $1,000 up, Tom. That's impossible to win that." Cut to second last round, and it's still Unless something drastic happens here, and it'll be 4 to go once we go green. Dave Douglas, he's in 12th position. Still on that cusp. Teammates working together. And we've seen that all night tonight. Simboys, Pinnacle, Southern Stars, all the teams. LCR, ILP team. Middle split, Roffies, the teams. Well, hopefully they all return. We're just about to go green here. The Geico restart zone is in play. I've got a camera. No, I don't. I did have an angle for that. Can trick you, that little bit of a Geico advertising on the side. We're in the restart zone now. No messing around. We're green again. 4 laps to go here at Talledega. Simboys get away. What a start for Troy Davison. Left them all napping. Reese May goes with him. And have a look at these, the stars. Darren McKenzie and Tom Pritchard. They want to stay up high. They're going to get the run on now. They were left sneezing, but they got a good names behind them. So what have we got? Up the high line, we've gone 3 wide. Oh no! No, that's going to bring out another caution. Or maybe. That was Reese May. Oh, I'm not too sure. That was one of the... that was one of the Simboys, I do believe. Everything happened too quick. We'll have to stay green though. 4 laps to go. We did stay green. Darren McKenzie, Tom Pritchard, Craig Roffey. Now, as we cross this strike, we've got turn 4 to go, or the tri-oval, I might as well say. No, it is there. We're in finish line. 3 laps to go here. Darren McKenzie leads. Dave Douglas in 11th at the minute. Reese May gets a little bit loose. You don't lift at this time of the race. You just get there, you put your foot down as we go 3 wide. Dave Douglas pushes it 3 wide. He's not happy with 15th. He's starting to move up. We got Wellman involved in there, box in there, so we're going to go 4 wide almost. Now it's starting to press on. We got 3 laps to go. Darren McKenzie pushing. Tom Pritchard, where's we got Aiden Schulz, Andy Barber. Andy Barber's coming up, he's in 6th. Where's he sitting? Down the low line, in 5th. He's pushing on the low line. He's also got Adam Malone in that same line as well. We're 3 wide, 4 deep. Up the front goes well. Oh, look at this Dave Douglas. You don't want to be doing that. Not with the championship. Look at Dave Douglas, the 10 machine. Where is he? 3 wide, 4 deep. You don't want to be doing that, but these guys have shown they're going to do it. Dave Douglas back in 19th position. He needs to finish 15th. He's dropping back. Is he thinking something's going to happen? Oh, triple one's around, and we got to see a caution. We got the big one. Not with the leaders though. Back up the front. Well, this will be a green-white checker. With the laps counting under caution, I wonder if we're going to finish under caution. Well, this would be one good thing for Jai. Jai's usually good on that. 2 laps to go, we get a caution. It clicks over to 3 again, so it's gone back up 1. Green, white checkout, NASCAR overtime, if you will. Leaders are still in it though. McKenzie, Pritchard, Roffing, Malone, May, Barber, Wellman, Schulz, Jones, Spencer, Finlay, Walsh, they're all in it. Top 22 cars still on the lead lap here. 3 to go. Now, if we didn't think we had enough action for this evening, well, it just keeps getting deeper and deeper. The action, that is. How good is it? Mackenzie, Pritchard, their times equal 51.61, 51.61. How good's that? 51.51 for Malone as well, and the times go down, but times doesn't matter. That's qualifying. It's all about now. We're here. We're at the end. What can you do? You get 1 stab at it. 1 stab at a green-white checker. That's it. Yellow flag was brought out here. 4th caution of the evening. See if we can unpack. It's 3 wide, about 4 5 deep, as you can see there in the mid pack. It looks good. A little bit screwed. Oh, so Priest gets a little bit loose, hits a car. There's a couple of little incidents that went on a little bit there. A couple of cars caught up. Probably about 8 trucks caught up in that. A lot of middle split drivers, but thankfully the leaders stayed out of it. We'll go back live. Yeah, John Day, that's the understatement of the year, mate. I think I've had half a can. I'm usually probably 2 deep into a long race like this. Tell you, a few of the boys were in the SRW trucks last night, and it was here as well. We also had Australasian E-Series supercars around here on Sunday night, so a good part of this field have had plenty of practice over the last couple of weeks here at Talledega. And 4th caution of the night, 3 to go. Green, white checker. Wish the overlay was there to display that, but green, white checker it is here tonight. Where'd Mr. Dave Douglas, or DD as we call it, he's back there in 18th position. Is this just toys from the number 10? Does he want it to go down in the, down to the wire? Remember, those of you just tuning in are going to watch a great finish to this race. $1,000 still up for grabs. Royal Triple Crown. 3 races at Daytona, 3 races at Talledega. Well, if you lead by points, both of them, and you take out the series, that's the Royal Triple Crown. That's $1,000 thanks to Skypoynt. Thanks to Skypoynt for jumping on and naming right sponsor with this as well as being a league organiser as well as being in the heat of the moment. Lap 6. Truck 6. Also, sponsorship opportunities are available for the Skypoynt Racing crew. Contact the Skypoynt Racing or jump on board skypointracing.com. If you want to get involved. I've heard that broadcast is quite dear, so you need all the help they can get. Shout out to Skypoynt though, Tom and the boys, they do an awesome job, and I've also said multiple times, shout out to all the drivers here tonight as well. 4 minutes, 43 drivers here at Talledega, 8 minutes last week, 15 minutes before. 80 contenders over the 15 rounds, 40.7 with average field size. Talledega, this is the second last round of Season 2. Season 3 kicks off in 2 weeks. Opens up with the first 3 rounds of the Crown. Superspeedways are plenty. Skypoynt Southern Stars lock out the field here. Adam Malone and Andy Barber. Skypoynt Southern Stars 4 deep top row. Look for Darren McKenzie possibly to push up or the other guys to go down. What would you do in chat? There's a couple of drivers here. If you had one lone soldier out there as Darren McKenzie, would you get him up in front of you or would you try and get around him in the front? Well, not too sure. We've got Andy Barber, I'm sure, that wants to get pushed to the front. Darren McKenzie's still on the hunt for this championship as well, so I think it's time to wait and see. Sit back though, enjoy this. Hopefully I can give it justice because this race has been a standout. It's going to go down to the wire. Teammates side by side off the restart. That's what you want. We got Dave Douglas needs to finish 5th to clinch this championship. Currently at the minute sits back down in 18th position. Pace truck peels off. Geico restart zone is in play. Darren McKenzie has the field, can go when he wants within the zone. Zone's coming up. That's advertising. On the ground, you'll see Geico. Here we go. When's he go? I think he's going to go early. He's gone. He's gone. He's gone. He's gone. Yes, we're green again. Number 6, what's Tom do? He's gone with him. Good restart with Tom. He drops down. Adam Malone stays up. Remember, there's probably another 2 Southern Stars Skypoynt cars behind at the minute. Darren McKenzie, Tom Pritchard down the bottom for the Skypoynt boys. What a good job, Tom. He'll know how to push him to the finish. Craig Roffey's in behind the 30. Reese May's in there as well, the top line. Good restart by most of the boys as we travel down the field. 2 laps to go here. Round 15, we go 3 wide. Reese May pushes Adam Malone just up to clear just. Getting antsy now. This is where the time for go. You don't lift now. I said it before. This is the now. You don't lift. We're going yellow. This is green, white, checker. Okay, Donnelly, Wade Sheedy, Tony Roffey. It's gone white flag, so let's look. I think it's going to finish under caution because these laps are counting. Let's have a look. We don't want it to finish this way. What a night it's been. If it does, it's an anti-climax almost, but let's have a look if the checkered flag comes out. Darren McKenzie, Tom Pritchard, Reese May, Adam Malone, Craig Roffey. I think we're going to finish under caution. Anti-climax, but, well, where's Dave Douglas? In 14th position. All right. Interesting. Let's have a look. Dave would be quite happy with it finishing under caution. Let's have a look, though. But we're around about 70% through the lap, so we've got about 30%. I'm just waiting on to have a look at this replay that's brought out this final caution. Miss me mate in here tonight. Hopefully you're right, Jai. I'll tell you, Jai would have been all over it. He would have. We all would have been set straight. 80% through the lap, so it's just more of a waiting game. I do believe that the laps were counting down, so this will, in fact, finish the race. But, well, I've been wrong once. I've been wrong before, but this time I'm not. We're finishing under caution here. Skypoynt NASCAR Truck E Series. Darren McKenzie, Tom Pritchard, Reese May, Adam Malone, Craig Roffey. My timing could still be out as well, so I don't want to... Troy, you're still watching, mate. What do you reckon? Is it my timing out, or are we going green, white, checker? Because I know... So unofficial, see, that's showing unofficial results. Yeah, and by the look of that, we've finished under caution. We have. Yeah, so we've finished under caution here tonight. How good was it, though? There's a bit of an anti-climax finishing under caution. We didn't want it to do that. Dave Douglas, though, with that, he finishes in 14th position. Darren McKenzie, Tom Pritchard, so Southern Stars Skypoynt 1 and 2. Reese May is here as well, or he's probably just jumped out. But how good was that? We'll see what happened, what brought out the caution. We're still yet to unpack that, and we'll wrap this up with... And any incidents, which was not many here tonight, that'll be live very shortly on the Skypoynt page. Let's have a look. This has brought out the last caution. So is this rear field here? So yeah, Fenton and Sheedy, they're the bottom cars. Has luckily they've got into each other, taken them out. There was a Roffey car behind. Oh, we've got a car a little bit further down. I'm not too sure what that was. Got a little bit loose on the apron, and he gets into the wall as well. Could have been worse, but it still did bring out a caution, unfortunately, and we did finish then as the positions would have been frozen. Well, it had everything. I think here tonight as the guys start to line up and do some burnouts, but the 0-2. Darren McKenzie with an audience of his teammates giving him a clap. How good's that? Sportsmanship at its finest. Round 15, Darren McKenzie is the winner. We'll get back in just a couple of minutes and wrap it all up. How good's that? McKenzie is due for one, I tell you. He's had some unlucky, misfortunate, or unfortunate turn of events. Back to form here at Talledega, round 15. Ripping some skids, as I mentioned, with an audience. We finished under caution, and I can tell you, if there's anything, as he's popped his engine, well-deserved D-Mac, we'll talk to you in a minute. What a race. I'm speechless. Jai, I'll tell you, mate, you're in hospital. You're probably not watching it, but, oh, you missed an absolute cracker, mate. Daytona next week, we can still wrap it up, but guess what? The Royal Triple Crown is in play. Dave Douglas, unofficially, has pretty much taken this championship. He's still got one leg to go to take out the Royal Triple Crown. We thought, well, I could have been by myself at the start of the series. We thought, well, that's impossible. No wonder why it's $1,000. Well, it's not so impossible, I don't think. It's still right there and thereabouts for the taking. Dave Douglas, he finished inside the top 15. That's where he wanted, but it's all about the podium. Teammates, although it doesn't say it there, Darren McKenzie, Tom Pritchard, Reese May, that's your podium. We'll get a chat with them soon. Adam Malone and Roffey, Craig Roffey, that is, in the top 5. Andy Barber as well, Skypoynt Racing. So 1, 2, 3, 4 out of the top 6. So good showing. 5 out of the top 8. That's awesome for a team. Really, really strong showing of teamwork for them. But have a look at that. All these drivers done extremely well tonight, not only to max out the field in record time, 4 minutes. I've said it so many times. But to bring a race, 4 cautions. We finished under cautions. But, well, all in all, the pick of the bunch, I think, for me, from if I had to choose, that's it. Well, we got our podium standing by. Darren McKenzie, Tom Pritchard and Reese May. They're in the green room. Let's jump in. Let's get a chat, because that would have to have been one of the hardest and, well, from a spectator's point of view, the most entertaining race of the series. I didn't get a rest, I tell you. I was doing it solo. You didn't give me a rest. The battles were absolutely everywhere. Right up until it pretty much finished, we still had around about 25 cars on the lead lap. And, yeah, just a credit to all the boys. Reese May, we've got you in here, mate. P3, how tough was that tonight?
It wasn't too bad, actually. The last 10 laps was a little stressful, but everything up till then was pretty cruisy.
We all know that tyres isn't an issue here, and fuel is. You just pretty much stayed with the boys and pretty much clicked over, and I think that's all you had to do. Was there any times where you thought that you needed a caution to stay in this, or did you think confident from the get-go?
I didn't want the cautions. I started near the back, just bided me time and got a good run up to the front, and then I just ran out of fuel, and that put me about 2 laps in front of everybody. And I was lucky that every time someone peeled off, I had a group of lap cars in front of me, so I could maintain speed. So I always came out in first, and I had plenty of fuel, but then we got the caution with 10 to go, and everyone was good then.
Yeah, I think I said that. The only tiny negative that I could bring tonight was finishing under caution, but you know what? It's racing. That's what happens. I tell you, if that caution flew, just that probably a lap earlier, Dave Douglas probably would have had to wait the next week. This is unofficial, but he may have clinched the championship, finishing in the top 15, but it was close, touch and go there for a little bit, Reese. But it got a little bit 3 wide, 4 wide. I think we touched there for a little bit. How did you find the competition out there tonight?
Well, besides the mention, the bit of a headache we had at the start, everyone was going 3 wide for the first 6 laps, which is pretty damn nuts. But then, yeah, that last 10 laps, I was just surrounded by bloody the Skypoynt guys, and I was just trying to squeeze my way through, which is great.
I suppose the Skypoint boys they do a lot of oval stuff, mate. You could probably find worse people to be around.
Does make it hard to pass on the Superspeedway though when there's a team of 5 cars. It's hard work.
Oh, it is hard work for you boys too, because you've got Skypoint Southern Stars there, probably 5 6 cars. You've got the Sim boys, they got a few. Pinnacle's got a few. Did you have a mate in here tonight to push you along?
I had my mate Will, but he got caught up in the first wreck, or the second big wreck, sorry, and that was it.
Yeah, you did it without him, so credit to you, mate. But yeah, definitely it makes it tough on the smaller teams. But yeah, I'll tell you, what are we, season 2? If that's anything to go by, season 3 is going to be a cracker. We're going to see Reese in season 3 in a couple of weeks.
Uh, don't know. I haven't got the spare time to worry about getting my license grades up, so probably not.
Oh, it's unfortunate, mate. Hope to see you then anyway. But well, we still got one round to go, Reese. What a great race it was here tonight, Talledega. It really did show it off for everyone, mate. But we got to wrap it up a little bit quicker than what I usually do, because I got to host the review coming up soon. But Reese, mate, P3, Talledega, great job.
No worries, thank you. Just want to thank Will from Fantasia Pastoral Company. He's the sponsor. We just all shits and giggles, mate, but it's a bit of fun.
Yeah, it's awesome, mate, and that's what it's all about, having shits and giggles, having fun, and P3, fun, enjoy it, mate. We'll see you at Daytona next week.
Cheers. Thank you.
The Super Speedway King himself, I think, Tom. How you going, mate? Not only you organise with Andy this great series, you absolutely nail qualifying, and also you're naming the right sponsor for this as well, mate. So tonight, as a admin, we'll go through your race in a little bit. As an admin point of view, you must be absolutely over the moon with tonight's performance.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was great. A whole lot of cars on track. I think we filled up the server in a couple of minutes. If not, you'd be nearly counting it in seconds with how fast the server's filling up. So, that's really positive. And we've obviously got our Series 3 is now open for entries. And we've had a great response to that. We've got over 30 cars now sitting in there ready to go, all ready to rock and roll, registered, and they'll be starting in a couple of weeks. So if you haven't got your entries in yet, it's time to start getting that all sorted out, because it's going to be a cracker of a season. I mean, the racing has been awesome, and tonight I think was just a great example of the level of racing that's going on. We've got 43 guys on a track here, all really, really competitive. And yeah, that was by no means an easy race win for us. That was certainly a bit of a challenge to get through at the end there.
Yeah, and it was challenged to get into the end. We finished under caution, which was, a little bit of an anti-climax. But I tell you, everyone kept us on our toes here tonight, and well, hopefully we've done it justice, because I tell you, Jai would have absolutely loved this one, to call this one, because there was action happening everywhere. But yeah, great for everyone, and I've been giving the drivers pats on the backs all night. If you can, pat their ego if you want, but yeah, definitely they should be proud of their performance. All 43 cars here tonight. But Tom, back to your race. You just linked it up, didn't you, from the get-go? You sort of kept your nose clean, and just lucky that the guys around you were super clean, because I don't think the incidents came from out in front. So it was a pretty good race for you and your team. But how do you find it for the number 6?
Yeah, I suppose when I start out these races, especially when I'm starting off the front, it is a big advantage. I can kind of just really, stay as close to the front as I can. Normally, I like to get a car in front of me, and I think I got someone in front of me. Oh gosh, I can't remember who it was exactly. I wasn't really concentrating on the name. I think it was Danny, and I just kept pushing him as hard as I could when a car would come up. I think Wade Sheedy was challenging me there for quite some time early in the race, and when he'd come up alongside, I'd just kind of push him along and accelerate us up so that we'd stay at the front. So that was really the primary activity that I was doing early in the race. And then once pit stops all rolled out, we ended up all back together. And for those last couple of, probably the last half of the race, kind of was around Dave Douglas, mirrored him for a while, then caught up with, of course, my mate Darren. And from there, it was about making sure we could get the win for Darren and get as many people in between us and Dave Douglas as we can, because he's the biggest threat at the moment for taking out, obviously, the championship, but also the Superspeedway crown is obviously up for grabs. So, yeah, it was important for us to keep away.
Well, you've done a good job with that. Just quick number crunching and talking to you guys before the broadcast. He had to finish 15th or higher. I can tell you that probably about a lap before that final caution, Dave Douglas was sitting in 18th, but he did finish in 14th. So we will wait till next week, because obviously everything's got to go through and we can do it officially. But I think the series has been clenched just by what I'm working out, Tom. So that means the Royal Triple Crown. And if you can remember a conversation that we had 16 weeks ago, probably even more, 17 weeks ago, when you explained to me and a few of the boys how does the Royal Triple Crown work, I think I laughed at you and said, no wonder why you're putting up $1,000, because that's, I think I even said, effing impossible. Well, would you have think back then to now that, well, it's not impossible, because we're going down to the wire right on the last round.
And it's a credit to Dave Douglas. I mean, he's driven a great season. He's been by far and away the most he was being the most at the top of the field. Consistent is the key word, but I'm not even thinking consistency, because I'm thinking he's just taken out the wins. He's just gone and won everything there is to win. So, that's been really cool to see. And we have a bit of banter going back and forth, but to his when it all comes down to it, he's done a great job this season. And it's going to be an exciting last week next week. I'm not sure whether the Triple Crown, where we're going to be at with that, but absolutely it's up for grabs. And as much as I don't want to be handing over a wad of $100 bills, it will make for some exciting broadcasting and some exciting racing, that's for sure. So he's going to be, I'm sure, coming out with a big knife, and I'll be coming out with a big knife next week too. That's for sure.
Yeah, well, down to the wire. That's why the way we want to wrap up series, Tom, mate. But yeah, good drive tonight. Shout out to Skypoynt as well. Definitely, it makes it easier when you sponsor a league, even though it's your own league. But still, your business does sponsor it, and shout out for that. But great race, P2. Any more shout outs, mate? Floor's yours.
Yeah, just wanted to say a big thank you to all the people who are obviously taking part in the league. We've obviously had a great series this series. Hoping that we get another good race next week to wrap it up. But also just a shout out as well and a call out if there are any businesses out there that really want to connect with a group of really competitive sim racers who are actively racing every week, using their sim gear. This community is looking for some sponsors and partners to jump on board. And, it's a great opportunity at the moment as we go into Series 3 to jump on board, get involved. And we've got some sponsorship packages that are affordable for all businesses, big and small. Then you can get involved and not only have your name against the series, but also be listed as really a partner for our community and be able to communicate and connect with our group members, which is now, I think, sitting at like 100 and something members of in our Discord channel. So it's a great opportunity. We'd love to hear from any businesses. So if you do know someone, or you are someone that might like to be involved, please give them my details and get them in touch.
100%. And we mirrored that as well throughout the broadcast as well. Skypointracing.com. Reach out to Tom and the boys there, and they'll point you in the right direction, or hit us up at the Skypoint socials, Facebook, Discord, or LRE Sports. We can point you in the right direction. But yeah, definitely shout out to the businesses if you're in there. If you want to sponsor this great league, hit Tom up. He's a approachable bloke and wins races. If he can win races, he's not going to lead you astray. Tom Pritchard from pole to P2, round 15 with one to go. Cheers for your P2, mate. We'll see you again at Daytona next week.
Thank you.
D-Mac, how was that, mate? Good team good team run for Skypoint Southern Stars tonight, but well, you got the W. It's been a while, hasn't it? For Darren McKenzie, you've been a little bit out of form as of late.
There's been a few podiums, but yeah, first win in a while for the truck series. But yeah, I can't thank the teammates. Yeah, their exceptional job tonight. Like the plan was to get me the win. I had to win to even have a chance at the King of Talledega title, the crown. So yeah, it's going to be close, real close on the points between me and Dave on that one.
How'd you find the competition? I know I asked Reese May that. How'd you find the competition tonight? It was fierce, but smart. That's the way I see it, or seen it rather. How'd you see it behind the wheel?
Yeah, it was. We've sort of sat back again. Our normal strategy, sort of sit back, watch what happens, and make our moves late in the race. There's always a chance at these races. Plenty of cautions and green, white checkers and all that sort of stuff. So, yeah, our pace was just sit back and chill. And I think we had a plan, Tom and I, to go at 10 to go if it stayed green. But yeah, that was thrown out the window with a couple of cautions, and we just got lucky starting 2-4 on the outside there. And that last restart, I think I had the lead, and we had the top 4 cars on the high line. So we had multiple plans in action for that as well, depending on what sort of start everyone got.
Yeah, and I made a note of that in commentary as well, DMAC, because you were leading on the low line, I do believe, and then the next 4 cars on the high line were there, and you got an absolute ripper start, and I think Tom jumped down behind you, and then you had your teammates locking out the row above you. So to to finish off a race any perfectly, I don't think you could.
We wanted the 1, 2, 3 for the team first one, but yeah, Reese, he just come out of nowhere. That was a hell of a run by him. I actually pooped a little when I seen him coming. It's like, where the fuck are you coming from? But sorry. Yeah, it was hell of a finish. So yeah, whoever wins the crown, it's hell of a job.
Yeah, hell of a job. It's going to be great. We've got the review coming up soon, so we'll have to wrap this up. DMAC, what a race for you. You must be happy. Shout out to your sponsors, mate. Great drive, P1.
Yeah, we got Skypoint, the team sponsor and series sponsor, Tiona Holiday Parks, Mrs. XL Garage, yourself at LRE Sports for your broadcast and commentary, and the team. Great bunch of blokes, and I love racing with them each and every week.
Yep, it's been a pleasure calling your races, and well, you're back in form. I think DMAC Daytona is up next week. It's going to be good to watch all you boys rather go at it head to head again. But we spoke to our podium: Darren McKenzie, Tom Pritchard, and Reese May. That's your top 3. Royal Triple Crown will be decided next week at the grand finale at Daytona. Do not miss it out. It's going to be a great night. Well, hopefully we'll have Jai back in commentary as well, and it's going to be a great night. Don't miss it next Tuesday. But before then, we got the Taipan events. Bathurst 1000, Bin the Blade for Balin. So that's a charity event on Sunday. Bathurst 1000, so 6 hours, 6 and a bit hours in commentary. But it's going to be a great race, 35 drivers. That's on Sunday. But can't wait for next Tuesday night, the grand finale for the Skypoint Racing NASCAR E-Series. If it's going to be 1% of what we've seen tonight, well, it's going to be a must-watch next week. So from everyone here at Skypoint, LRE Sports, and all the boys, have a good week, and we'll catch you Sunday, and we'll catch you Daytona next Tuesday night. Cheers. Have a good one.